Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's Abby again, and I hope you're all doing amazingly well. Today's video is going to be all about study tips because, to be honest, that's the most requested video that I've had. So I really wanted to prioritize this one. I know that a lot of these tips will be helpful because these are things that I only learned quite a way into my study journey. Or even if you're studying towards a different qualification, I really hope these tips are helpful. So if you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, don't be shy. I've got quite a few tips to share today, so let's get straight into it. So number one, and probably the most important, is to set a study timetable. You need to have a rough schedule of what you plan to do. I think it's really easy to overestimate how much time you have to study, and considering how much content is within each module, you really want to make sure that you study and plan so that you can actually address and revise each topic within the module. You can go into the exam feeling a lot more confident and feeling prepared. So I know a lot of people often ask how long they need in order to pass the exam, and I would give yourself 6 weeks. That should be enough time for you to learn a module from scratch and pass the exam. We know the pass rate is 50%, so really and truly you want to get exposure to everything because you obviously don't know what is going to come up in the exam. So to give yourself the best chances to pass, you obviously need to learn everything, and 6 weeks should be enough time to do that. And obviously your study plan can change over time, but at least if you set a plan before you even start the module, you'll know and have a rough guide as to what you want to cover. Within those 6 weeks that you give yourself, you also want to assign a specific amount of time closer to the exam, which is strictly for exam practice and question practice, because practicing exam questions is the best preparation for the exam that you're about to sit. So just make sure you learn all of the content within at least the first 4 weeks of your study plan, and then leave the final 2 weeks just for revision, exam practice, past papers, but make sure that you're not using time closer to the exam to learn things from scratch. So if you watched my ACCA journey video, then you'll know that I studied with Kaplan College. When I was studying with Kaplan, they gave me a folder which was kind of a summarized version of the textbook that they give you as well, and then the textbook is a very detailed version of the whole module, so that's got the full content. Then they also gave you an exam kit, so that is filled with past exam questions and their answers, so you can use that to study or practice questions as well. And then lastly, they gave you a little book which were the study notes, and these study notes are basically a collected book full of flashcards, so you could even carry that around with you. And typically I'd look at that on the way to work just to reinforce my knowledge as I was studying the core content for the first 4 weeks. I did also want to say that even if you're not studying with a tuition provider and you're doing your own self-study, you can still go onto ACCA's website and download the past papers from there. They've got all the previous past papers on their website. You can use their practice platform. Most of the core things that you need for question practice are actually available on the ACCA website, so make sure you do check that out if you do not have a tuition provider that's telling you these things or giving you these past papers in book form. You could actually buy Kaplan's textbook as well, even if you're not a student there. I'm pretty sure you can buy it from Amazon or even directly from the Kaplan website. But I just wanted to point out that you can access quite a few resources from the ACCA website itself. But overall, I would definitely say that the exam kit was my favorite resource to use when practicing for exams, because I just felt so prepared when using that to study, because it gave me exposure to so many different styles of questions and different topics. So I would really recommend that if you're going to buy one book from Kaplan for your module, the exam kit is key. But ultimately, the reason I place so much emphasis on the exam kit or practicing exam questions and past papers is because exam technique is crucial. In order to pass your exams, you don't just need the knowledge, you need to also know how to apply the knowledge to the exam question. If you can master applying your knowledge to the question in the exam whilst being under time pressures and exam constraints, then you will be able to pass the exam. It's so important to actually understand the structure of the exam that you're sitting, because confusion will cost you time and marks in the exam. You should know how much time you should spend per mark within the exam. I remember for me, at the time, we were advised to only spend 1.8 minutes per mark in the exam. So I always knew how much time I was going to spend on every section, every question, and it allowed me to just keep moving through. So just manage your time really well And that time management and confidence in time management is going to come when you've done enough exam question practice. And you'll find that when you start attempting questions and doing exam practice, that there is a very similar style that questions follow, and soon enough it will become like second nature for you to answer the questions because you've practiced so many other questions which have been very similar in the past. So this is all preparing you for the actual exam. So practice as many exam questions as possible and then study the answers after. That will reveal to you where your knowledge gaps are. I would really recommend reading the answers in the exam kit, reading the answers to exam questions to at least familiarize yourself with the style that the examiner wants you to write in order to pass. And read the examiner's comments because it will really allow you to understand how they allocate marks to every answer, and it's also going to guide you on the areas that a lot of students fail to perform in within the exam. It's also important to ask your tutor where the easy marks are. I found that in every exam there were easy marks. There's things that you literally just can't get wrong. So make sure that you know where the easy marks are. Things like definitions or pro formas, or even writing out your calculations can get you very easy marks. So make sure you don't miss out on that. I'd also recommend asking your tutor which past papers you should focus on during your revision. It's always going to be in your tutor's best interest to guide you and help you, so don't be scared to ask questions. I'll admit as well that it can be very stressful to study for a course like this, especially alongside a 9 to 5. Make sure that if you do have a continuous day to study, set a structure for yourself so that you know that you've had enough time to actually do the study that you wanted to do. The one thing that I did is I would always use my study days in the best way possible, and I would treat my study days like a 9 to 5. So I would start my study session at 9 a.m, then continue and break for lunch. Then after my lunch break, I would go all the way through and keep studying until 5 p.m. And that way I knew that I'd given enough of my efforts into studying that day, and I could relax for the evening and start again the next time I had a study day. And last but not least, I just want to wish you all the best in your exams. As tough as it is very much worth it. They are not impossible to pass. So just make sure you start studying as early and as frequently as possible. And just remember the exam technique, question practice, and easy marks, all very crucial to passing the exam. Also, don't forget to check out the description box. I'm going to leave all the resources I mentioned. I have also filmed some ACCA videos prior to this one. Check out the playlist. I'll leave all the videos right here, so don't be shy, give it a click and check out my previous content. Thank you once again for watching, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.